If you are looking for new popular movies to watch, you have come to the right place. These are the movies that have captivated 1 million Netflix viewers around the world with their amazing stories, characters, and effects. Hi, movie buffs. You're on the Shadow Tavern channel, and today I'm going to tell you about the most watched new movies. Make yourself comfortable and enjoy the movie. Number 1, The Killer, directed by David Fincher. It's based on a series of French graphic novels by Alexis Nalin and Louis Guicamon. It tells of a professional assassin who fails to fulfill his new assignment, to kill a politician in Paris. As punishment, the customer decided to eliminate him along with his girlfriend living in the Dominican Republic. Having learned about this, the killer begins a brutal revenge, destroying everyone involved. An obvious plus for fans of the actor Fassbender in this movie played the role of a man who loses control over reality, struggling with his conscience, his feelings, and his true self. Fincher has always demonstrated his mastery of the genre. He created a visually stunning, atmospheric movie that does not let the viewer go until the end. The cameraman was Eric Messerschmidt, who won an Oscar for his work on Fincher's previous film, Mank. The picture features exquisitely elegant cinematography that contrasts with the luxurious and gloomy locations through which the killer moves. It also impresses with its exciting original fight scenes that showcase the skills and ingenuity of the protagonist. Perhaps it can safely be called a must-see for all fans of Fincher Fassbender's original graphic novel series. Number 2, Locked In. Psychological thriller about the fate of Catherine Carter, a former TV presenter who, after an accident, suffers from locked-in syndrome. This is a very rare condition when a person is completely paralyzed but retains the ability to move his eyes and communicate with the help of a special device. Catherine cannot utter a word or move, but is fully aware of everything that is going on around her. The movie begins with Catherine being admitted to the hospital, where she manages to communicate the word murder to her nurse, Nikki. Nikki decides to look into Catherine's story and find out what really happened to her. Locked In is a movie that aspires to be an intriguing and suspenseful thriller, but according to many viewers, fails to live up to expectations. The movie relies on flashback, shifting perspectives, and a secret diary to create the illusion of mystery. The main pluses of the movie can be safely considered the acting of Anna Friel and Ankie Jansen, who well inhabited their roles. Locked In is a movie that could have been much better if it had a more original and thoughtful script. However, in my opinion, if you consider it primarily not as a thriller, but as a detective story, it has chances to brighten your evening. Number 3, Wing Women is a French heist movie that will steal your heart. Directed and starring Melanie Laurent, known for her work in such films as Inglourious Bastard and Six Underground. She plays a professional thief who decides to quit her life of crime. But before she can say goodbye to her business, she must complete one more task together with her best friend and partner. Their goal is to steal the precious painting Grande Odalisque from the Louvre. The film delights with its dynamism, humor, and drama. It is full of exciting and funny episodes. There is a place for touching scenes talking about friendship, loyalty, and motherhood. There is a terrific chemistry between the main characters. The dialogues are witty and amusing. The picture is able to please, including beautiful locations and soundtrack from popular artists. I'm sure that this tape will stay in the top for at least a few more weeks. Number 4, Pain Hustlers, a movie based on the true story of how a pharmaceutical company made $1 million on the sale of deadly with Presbytonel and then faced allegations of crime and corruption. The film was directed by David Yates, known for the Harry Potter and Fantastic Beasts movies. The script of the movie was written based on the book by journalist Evan Hughes. The plot centers on Liza Drake, who goes from working as a waitress to a successful career at Insize, where she becomes one of the top sellers of a powerful opioid spray. But Liza doesn't realize that Subsea is often prescribed to patients who don't need it and who quickly become addicted, risking death from an overdose. Insize also pays bribes to doctors, defrauds insurance companies, and hides information about the drug's harmful effect. When justice intervenes, Liza will have to decide which is more important, money or conscience. Pain Hustlers is a gripping, stunning movie that exposes the dark truth of the pharmaceutical industry and the opioid crisis in America. The movie mixes elements of crime drama, thrillers, and satire to create an unforgettable and fast-paced story, but be warned, it is rated R for foul language sex scenes, nudity, and substance use.
Hey! Get your shoes off! Get your shoes off!
Number 5, Forgotten Love, Polish drama movie based on the novel by Tadeusz Dolęga-Mostowicz, a famous journalist and writer of the era between the two world wars. The main character of the movie is Rafał Welser, a brilliant surgeon who lost almost all of his memory, family, and career in an accident. He moved to the countryside and started practicing folk medicine, curing the locals. One day, he accidentally meets his daughter, who doesn't recognize him and decides to try to get his old life back. The movie tells how Rafał tries to make sense of his past and present, overcoming various difficulties and dangers. Also, he uncovers some secrets and lies that have been hiding from him for many years. Yeah, this is essentially a remake of that very same 81 movie, a compelling, touching story about love, loss, and forgiveness. The movie shows the contrast between urban and rural life, modern traditional medicine, rich and poor. It is distinguished by good acting, an interesting script, and quality direction. In addition, it has historical, cultural references that make the characters' plots deeper and more vivid.
The law is the law.
And Tony, don't worry.
Number 6, Sly. This is a documentary that takes a look at the life and work of famed actor, writer, and director, and producer Sylvester Stallone. He has become known to 1 million viewers for his iconic characters and blockbuster movies from Rocky and Rambo to Unstoppable. In the movie, we hear stories from Stallone himself, as well as his friends, family, and fellow actors, including Arnold Schwarzenegger, Quentin Tarantino, and Frank Stallone. The movie tells the story of how Stallone overcame the hardships of his childhood in a Hell's Kitchen in New York City, where he suffered ridicule, poverty, and a speech impediment, and reached the heights of fame and fortune in Hollywood, where he forged his own path, created opportunities, didn't give up in the face of obstacles. We learn about his sources, inspirations, motivations, struggles, and successes, his personal, professional life, and his artistic vision and legacy. The movie is neither a chronicle nor a critique. It is a balanced and respectful portrait of a complex and contradictory individual who was able to achieve extraordinary results but did not escape enormous challenges. It is a tribute to his talent and spirit, as well as an homage to his iconic roles in films.
I'm in the hope business.
Number 7, Nyaed, biographical drama based on the true story of American swimmer, writer, and journalist Diana Nade, who at age 64 became the first person to swim from Cuba to Florida without protection from sharks. The movie recounts her long and arduous journey from her failed attempts in the 70s to her final triumphant swim in 2013, showing the physical and psychological obstacles she faced. Nade never loses faith in her lifelong dream despite doubts and criticism from others, as well as the dangers of jellyfish, sharks, storms, and exhaustion. The movie differs from the typical sports biopic in that it focuses more on the inner world and emotions of the protagonist than on the technical aspects of the swim. The director uses flashbacks, news reports, music, and voiceovers to compose a mosaic of life and memories on this, as well as conveying the passage of time and the overcoming of distance. It does not pretend to be flawless or at least objective in telling the story. It's more of an emotional portrait that's crafted to appeal to movie buffs and sports fans alike.
There's no one more Naiad than you.
Number 8, A Deadly Invitation. The story centers on Agatha, a fan favorite true crime and podcast author who unexpectedly receives a mysterious invitation from her half-sister Olivia, a wealthy, eccentric widow living on a luxury yacht in Los Cabos. Agatha wonders why Olivia would want to meet her after years of separation and suspects. There is a secret behind it. It turns out that Olivia has invited several other old friends to her party with whom she has a score to settle, and announces that she has invented a game for them in which one of them must die. Soon Olivia herself is found dead on the lower deck of the yacht, and the police arrive on the scene. Agatha decides to use her knowledge of sleuthing and help in the investigation. A Deadly Invitation is a funny and entertaining film that plays with the conventions of the classic detective genre with elements of black humor and satire. The movie doesn't pretend to be original, but manages to keep interest. It is light and enjoyable and gives a modern interpretation of the murder mystery genre. As you can see, it received mixed reviews from critics and viewers, but has become one of the most popular and most watched of their new Netflix movies in different countries. Number 8, Sister Death, a new horror movie from Netflix that is a prequel to the 2017 film Veronica. The plot is set in 40s Spain after the Civil War. The main character, Narcissa, is a young nun who comes to a former convent turned into a school for girls to work there as a teacher. Narcissa is an unusual person. She was known as the holy girl from the village of Parablasca, where she performed miracles, healing people with her touch. But her gifts attracted the attention of those who tried to capture her and use her. At the monastery, Narcissa is confronted with a terrible secret involving a relic lost during the war. She tries to uncover the truth about the mysterious past of the place and protect the girls from the evil that lurks in the shadows. Sister Death is a pretty good horror movie that combines elements of religious horror. Mystery and revenge contains both spectacular and creepy scenes that will delight horror fans. Practical effects and makeup are used extensively to create atmosphere, which adds to the realistic and disturbing feel and avoids the use of cheap gimmicks or unnecessary computer graphics. It is not without its flaws, but is still a worthy addition to the Spanish horror genre and the satisfying verdict on Veroni. Nowhere takes the title to a utopian future where Spain has become a dictatorship that has decided to get rid of children, pregnant women, and the elderly to cope with the lack of resources. The main character of the movie is pregnant Mia, who wants to save her unborn child. She and her husband, Nico, plan to flee the country and reach Ireland by hiding in a shipping container on a cargo ship. But the military separates them and Maya is left alone in the container, which falls into the ocean after a storm. She has to fight for the life of herself and her newborn baby using everything in the container, as well as her wits and resourcefulness. The movie is an engaging, suspenseful survival story that keeps you from relaxing. It doesn't shy away from showing the brutality and horror of what the world is experiencing. The hunger, the craving for solitude, the hallucinations in nowhere is a gripping emotional journey. Maybe not the most original or realistic movie, but definitely interesting and gripping. And that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Feel free to share this video with your friends, subscribe to the channels, click on the buttons below the player, and I'll see you on the next episode. Bye.